that has just come in. The Prime Minister Scott Morrison has cancelled his leave and will return home for the bushfire crisis. Live to Canberra now, where we're joined by political reporter Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, what's he had to say?
Well, Pete, we know that the Prime Minister has been under sustained pressure now for several days. He's been on holiday with his family, and the Prime Minister's office has been very reluctant to confirm even where he is. But today, the breaking news after that tragedy that we have seen overnight, the Prime Minister in the last 10 minutes or so revealing that he will be returning home now as soon as possible. Here's part of what he's had to say. He says he's expressed his sincere condolences and sympathies to the families of firefighters who have been so tragically killed overnight. He goes on to say that they were bravely defending their communities. He then says that given these most tragic events, he will be returning to Sydney from leave as soon as can be arranged. So he's been under a lot of pressure now, cutting short this holiday. He was always going to return before Christmas, but now this confirmation that he'll be returning to Australia as soon as possible. In terms of the optics of this, that's what a lot of people have had concerns with. It was very different from the Labor leader, Anthony Albanese, today. He is on the fire ground this morning, speaking to firefighters. He was asked this morning about whether this has been a good decision by the Prime Minister to be away whilst there's been so much fires burning across the East Coast.
I really don't want to talk about Scott Morrison's family holiday. I want to talk about the firefighters. I want to talk about these communities. That's what matters here. And it has been a distraction. I think it's unfortunate. It's a matter for him and his judgment when he goes on holidays, but I don't quite understand why it's been such a secret.
There's been a lot of focus on this over the last few days. We saw just yesterday those protests outside Kirribilli House calling for the Prime Minister to return. He's clearly heeded the message that he's hearing from Australia, and he will be back as soon as can be arranged.
OK, Trudy, thank you.